Troye Sivan is a former YouTuber, much like Logan Paul, who is now a pop singer, and he just put out a song called One of Your Girls, and the music video is extremely disturbing, in my opinion. He goes in full drag, okay? And he is a gay man. He identifies as such, but he went in full drag in this music video with former Disney star Ross Lynch. And the whole song is, I kid you not, about being gay and creeping on straight dudes. I'm sure a lot of people would try to debate me on that, but if you look at the lyrics, if you look at the video, it's literally just about creeping on straight dudes and trying to turn them gay. And what does this say about the culture, I ask you? Ollie London tweeted about this and said, Troye Sivan, a prominent LGBTQI plus activist, turns trans in new music video titled One of Your Girls. In the video, he can be seen in women's clothing dancing provocatively. He has over 15 million Instagram followers, many of them teenagers. What message does this send? I think I didn't actually have the courage to tweet about this, but I was about to say that this song is a display of a fantasy that a lot of gay men have, which is that they want to be in competition with women. And they have this weird sense of validation from the fantasy of stealing men from their wives or girlfriends. And in reality, as you can tell from this music video, all they believe differentiates them from real women is hair extensions, fake eyelashes, lip injections, makeup, lingerie, all of the accoutrement, okay? And I find that insulting. I have every right to say that. I didn't say it because I didn't want all of Troye Sivan's stans to come after me, but it's true. And it's also just disturbing that a former child star from the Disney Channel is in this video. Like, I know he's trying to break out of that Disney past, like any Disney star would.
That's just his version of doing it the same way Miley Cyrus would have done it, just different.
I know. He also played Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
I watched that movie. Wasn't that good. But all of this is just evil. I don't know how else to describe it. And on top of all that, the song isn't even good.
You seem to feel about this the way that I felt about Dylan Mulvaney's speech pattern.
I mean, I felt the same way about Dylan Mulvaney's speech accepting the Woman of the Year award. I think that is also incredibly disturbing, and I tried my best to articulate why.
Yeah.
But, like, this is actually insulting to women, and unfortunately the fan base for it is women. Just like with Dylan Mulvaney.
Well, the number one thing we seem to learn from most of these instances is that women allow this stuff to happen by inviting it into their spaces.
Yeah, and
I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't find the video offensive. I thought it was just a weird cross-dressing dude trying to copy 80s, 90s, and early 2000s styles, but as a guy wearing women's clothes.
I mean, the music, the actual song sucks. It sounds like it would be in the background of an H&M.
Yeah.
Like you're walking around a Nordstrom's.
Maybe for me, maybe it doesn't like hit my brain as easily as it does when I hear a direct speech from someone like a Dylan Mulvaney. But when I watched this, like I was just like, dorky art.
It's just so over-sexualized. Like, it really bothers me that our culture is so hyper-sexualized.
I mean, but
and
music especially has been like that for decades long before recently.
Sure, yeah, like he's not doing anything groundbreaking here, but he'll turn it around and say like, oh, it's so hard to be a queer pop star because everyone over-sexualizes my music. Like, as if you're not doing that yourself.
But that's not unique to pop artists or to gay pop stars either.
Well, he certainly thinks it is.
He's wrong.
Yeah.
He's wrong.
Libby also tweeted about this. Libby Emmons tweeted, everyone wants to be a hot chick. Everyone wants to be looked at. It's a shame there's so little substance under the hair extensions, fake lips, fake boobs, fake lashes, inches of foundation, and concealer.
It's all the same fakeness that I attribute to maybe like I lump it in because I think of all of this, especially this area of Hollywood, which is the music scene, to be a lot of showmanship and fake to begin with.
It's the Sam Smith and the Kim Petras.
I consider this all the same type of, like, I even had a hard time, and now I don't remember exactly what I said. Like, I guess I felt like areas of what Sam Smith was like evoking demonic stuff, but I just look at it and I see art nerds. Like in this time, I see gay art nerds who are being nerds about the stuff that they make, and I feel like, to me, when people are speaking directly to the population the way Dylan Mulvaney does, that somehow that hits me harder. But I get what you're saying, right? That it's you consider it to be on the same level of.
Well, there would be no Dylan Mulvaney without the infrastructure built up to put him on a pedestal like he has been, right? Yeah. And this stuff in the music industry is part of that.
Like, I see this stuff and I just think, like, being over the top, being hypersexual, being fake has always been part of pop music, especially in the last 30, 40 years. So it's just weird. Like, I remember now, and you also mentioned like the age of his fan base, right? Like, this is one of those things where, do we consider him responsible for the age of his fan, like, you know, because that's something that comes up in other spaces too. Like, are you responsible for the actions of your fan base, and are you responsible for what's shown to your fan base? If you're not, like, he's not associated with like a Disney or anything, is he?
No.
Okay, so like,
no. I mean, his fan base is young because he came from a YouTube.
I think part of this is also like we have to like remember that the parents have to be like, we're like, when we're parents someday, if that happens, like, you're gonna have to keep a close eye on what your kids watch and listen to. If you're ever a parent, right, you're gonna have to keep a close eye on whatever your kids watch and listen to.
I don't think that a kid watching like a Shakira music video in the 2000s is the same thing as a kid stumbling upon something like this. I think it's way more insidious.
So then that will be on the parents to make sure that they don't allow their kids to go into watching content like this without proper.
But also, you're right. It's uncreative.
Yeah, that was what bothered me. I was like, it just looks like every '90s R&B video mixed with '80s fashion, '90s fashion, and then 2010s fashion. Yeah. And it was just, I said the most egregious crime in this video was that it was boring to me.
The message behind the song is essentially, he's insecure that he can't get the same attention from straight men that he gets from gay men. Surprise, surprise. Like, imagine my shock.
Wait, why would he want the same attention?
He says that he's attracted to men that would have bullied him in high school. I don't think we need to psychoanalyze that. I think we can all see what that's really about. Quote, I've changed my values and my self-worth to bend to be this thing that I think you might want. But I'm not really sure because you're not communicating. It leaves you kind of feeling empty inside. And the lyric in this chorus is, give me a call if you ever get desperate. I'll be like one of your girls. Like, it's a self-deprecating song. Like, he wants to pretend to be like a woman so that straight men will like him. But they're not straight.
Yeah.
Also, I can't believe this has turned into an actual debate that, like, if a man has sex with another man who identifies as a woman, yeah, that is gay. Like, he is gay.
Yeah.
He is having sex with a man. Is that like hateful to say that now?
I guess. When I see this stuff, like, I get it. I get the critiques. I see it, and I think, like, everyone who goes through something emotionally, psychologically, even right down to your sexuality, it's like they have the right to make their art based on what they're feeling. Now, there's a better debate, like, should the studios or should these companies be elevating this material? That's a debate that you can very much have. But, like, I don't have a problem with people making their art in a way that's, you know, dealing with something that they've internalized. But
I think we've lost something since we had, like...
There's a $20 super chat here from Bucky Ducky. Says, Brett noticed me. Less than 3.
What does that mean?
Heart 3.
Oh, I get it.
Heart. Heart.
I forgot. But you said that like we'll never have a straight male heartthrob for like girl fan bases again.
Yeah, well,
Because it's all gonna be BTS or Troye Sivan or Sam Smith.
well, because in decades past, a lot of them ended up actually being gay anyways. Like they were marketed towards straight women because that's the way the audience, that's the way the studios wanted it because they could reach that demographic. But now women have welcomed them into they're still willing to spend the money on them so they can virtue signal and get the straight women.
Yeah. People have found like it's not enough to just have a female fan base. You have to tap into the LGBTQIA plus crowd as well.
Now, does that speak much to like how big that crowd is or how important it is to the marketing? Because that number of the population seems to go up
social
every year.
contagion.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
a social contagion, and yeah, they're funneling in Gen Z and Gen Alpha into it.
Yeah,
More and more.
The whole thing is just, it's like, I understand like on a different day, like I think I really, and just to be fair, like on a different day, I might have had a different reaction entirely to this. I also sometimes have a harder time like critiquing music as art than I do like somebody who makes TikToks where there's a very clear motive to it, right? Like art.
There's always a motive behind someone's art, though.
I understand, but I'm just saying, like for me, like when I see art, I look at that differently, for better or worse. Whether I'm right or I'm wrong, I critique someone's art differently than I critique what they. And also, I think it's because Dylan seems to be very mired in victimhood. And maybe that's what bothers me more than anything is the victimhood nature of it. Whereas that's not what I'm seeing from this, even if, the message isn't good, Like maybe we just all have our own triggers as to what aspects of certain things we don't like. And for this, I can just like, it would be very easy for me to pass this off and just be like, it's a lame music video from a lame artist that I don't care. Maybe that's
so there was one comment that said, this is results from no fault divorce, or like
that was my
what
favorite.
happens when you let people have no fault divorce.
Yeah, I would love to know
like
what
I
the
want to know
logic
the
was
thought
for that.
process.
I would love to know what he meant by that, by saying what does Troye Sivan's music video have to do with no fault divorce? Is it like somebody would only are they saying somebody would only turn out like this if their parents got divorced and divorce is more likely because no fault divorce is a thing?
Yeah, I don't get it. What people should really be offended by, if anything, is the fact that this is essentially blackface but for women. Okay?
Do you think the society will ever get to that where think it'll ever come around?
Men who get aroused by dressing up like women and making a mockery of them.
Yeah.
Why should that be normalized in our culture? Clearly, blackface is taboo, but woman face is not.
Do you think we'll ever get back to a place where that will be where that will no longer be acceptable?
No.
It only goes one direction?
Ever since RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
It started before that, but I mean, this culture, like gay culture, used to be subversive. It used to have an underground subculture aspect to it, but now it is mass culture. Subculture has become mass culture and is still masquerading as subversive.
That would be the part that bothers more than the actual culture itself would bother me, is when you try to pass off something that is now ultra mainstream as somehow underground or unique when it's not either. Like that annoys me. Like, because that's like stolen valor.
You're a man dressing up as a woman. That's groundbreaking in 2023.
Like that's like stolen valor. Like,
yeah.
There's a brony out there somewhere who's like, yo, I'm the actually subversive one here. You're not the subversive one.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it's weird. Like I feel like we could we'll end up with some Dylan Mulvaney story in a week, and I'll have a completely different take. But if Dylan Mulvaney made a song, now I need to be tested. I need to know. Like,
is
if
Dylan Mulvaney going to pivot into making music at any point?
Yeah.
He's already been on Broadway, so he has the singing ability.
Yep.
Is he going to start recording pop tracks? Is he going to make diss tracks?
What would be in a Dylan Mulvaney diss track? It wouldn't work.
He'll make a diss track against Kid Rock.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.